So hey guys, and welcome to another vlog, and this one of course is about Christmas, as you can see from the title. And I don't know, I was just thinking I wanted to talk a little bit about Christmas, my thoughts about Christmas, and to wish everybody who watches my videos a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Thursday, whatever you celebrate. I wish you a good day and a good holidays, and even if you're not festive, even if you're not religious or whatever, more than likely you'll be spending some time with family or friends. So that's the main thing, I guess, if that's what you like to do. I'm not gonna lie, I am not a guy who's really like super excited about Christmas. And that's, like I said, I think that's probably the impetus for me wanting to talk about this in the first place. It's just that Christmas is kind of a sour note for me for a lot of different reasons. But before we get into that, I just thought I would talk about Christmas for me over the years, from when I was a kid to as an adult to as a father, as a person who works in retail. I have thoughts about ye old holiday. So, Christmas as a kid for me was good times. My parents got divorced when I was 4. I lived with my dad primarily, except in the summers, so Christmas was my dad and myself. And my dad did his best to make every Christmas, interesting and fun and enjoyable. I had gifts. We were together. We sometimes got to spend time with other members of my dad's side of the family. I can't say I really, as a little kid, like at least single digit age, I don't think I ever spent any time with my mom's side of the family, my mom, my brother, my grandparents, cousins, and stuff like that. Maybe later on when I got into my teens and we all lived pretty much in the same state, I got to see him a little bit more at Christmas time. When I was really, really young, I think I remember spending some Christmases, but we're probably talking like right around 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. Anyway, I just have nothing but good memories, no downers, no negative memories, nothing like that. But nothing really like super special or whatever. Christmas was, as a kid, I'm sorry, but most kids just see Christmas for what it mainly is these days, and that's gifts. And even though people push the spirit of giving, it's still like, what do you have underneath the Christmas tree? And that's a little bit of a bummer, but it's just the way that it is in our world nowadays. It's just, our society. It's all about the material stuff. Part of the reason why I'm burned a little bit on Christmas these days, especially, like I said, because of the retail aspect of it all. But I enjoyed Christmas back in those days. Like I said, no negative memories. It was just this thing that you knew happened every year in December. Now, when I got in my teen years, it was not as big a deal. My dad didn't buy as much stuff. We didn't necessarily always have like a Christmas tree and a bunch of decorations. I mean, I would show you what I have here, but it's nothing super special. It's just a little tree that sits on top of a shelf, and gifts for my daughter under there, and a gift that she's gotten for me is under there. I don't put out any decorations outside in the yard. I don't put lights up on anything. I don't really care about all of that. And like I said, we didn't do it so much when my dad and I, once I got into like my teen years and all that, it wasn't a thing anymore. When I moved out on my own and got my own place and all that kind of stuff, the first few years I was with cousins. I roomed with a few of my cousins in like early to mid 90s. I don't remember us doing anything special. If they did, that was fine. I knew way back when that I had just kind of checked out as far as really caring about that part of Christmas. Now, when I became a dad, when I got married and I became a father, then I thought, well, I do feel like I should try to make Christmas happy and enjoyable for my daughter. But I was not one of those guys who was like, oh, I've got to do all these things for my daughter that I didn't do. Caroling and snowman and going crazy with lights and all that kind of stuff. I think of like Tim Allen on Home Improvement, not only going crazy with decorations, but overpowering them and blowing out all the electricity in the neighborhood. I think Christmas Vacation or one of those movies had a lot of competing. I don't know. I've never seen Christmas Vacation. I don't really care for the vacation movies in general, and a lot of Christmas movies. I Four Christmases, Scrooged, a few that I consider to be classics that are good for a watch every so often, like Jim Carrey's Grinch Steals Christmas, and Christmas Story every once in a while, but I'm not big on even that kind of stuff. Christmas music, I don't care. I have a Aqua Teen Hunger Force Christmas soundtrack from a few years ago that I'd rather listen to that than any traditional carols. I'm not into all the Christmas movies. I'm just not into most of it at all. So that's kind of the way I bring to my daughter. It's like I want her to be happy and have some gifts and a tree and a little bit of that, but she'll get the full experience more with the rest of her family there on her mom's side. And I feel fine with that. I don't feel bad about it. Sometimes maybe I feel a little guilty, but overall I don't feel like I'm a bad dad because I don't go all out and go crazy with it. Now, I've been doing Walmart for over 12 years, and I've done retail for 17 years of my adult life. And retail, okay, you can go into a store in the last few days before Christmas, and you can think to yourself, oh God, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why are all these people here? Why are they so crazy? You know, God, why do I wait till the last minute? You can have all that you want, but I guarantee you, unless you're one of these fucking ridiculous people who lives in Walmart and stores like that and shops in there almost every day, your ass does not have to deal with it to the level of those of us who work in it. And that is something that has ruined Christmas for me in a lot of ways. One, just in general, just the whole happy-go-lucky time, gift giving and time with family and all that kind of stuff. Even the religious aspects of it have all been tempered for me because of retail, because of seeing how cutthroat and bloodthirsty people are to get gifts and to get the gifts that they want. And whether they start shopping in July or they wait until December 23rd, they want their stuff, and at all costs they'll step on anybody, they'll treat you like crap, they'll yell at you and just do the whole thing. And it's just soured things for me on the experience. Just like I said, seeing the way that people are, seeing how they overreact to things, seeing how they've changed Christmas and the holidays into just that merchandise thing. Like they've forgotten the reason for the season. Now, I'm not a super over-religious person, but I believe in God. I'm a Christian. I'm what a friend of mine called me once, a worldly Christian. You know, I still take part in a lot of things that maybe you shouldn't. I'm not necessarily the best Christian. I don't pray all the time. I don't go to church. I don't try to convert people. I believe in something else up there. And so at this time of the year, I believe that Christmas really should be remembered for what it's here for, the birth of Jesus, just all of its religious meanings. that seem to be lost these days because of gift giving and all that kind of stuff. Giving gifts, spending time with family, it's all important and it's well and it's good. But like I said, I'm just beating a dead horse here. It's been taken to such crazy extremes these days that it kind of hurts my soul a little bit to see it. And I'm on that side of things, that unfortunate side of things, that I see all these bad attitudes about Christmas because of the retail work. And like I said, I don't want to harp on that over and over and over again, but Christmas is just, for that reason, has been ruined for me. I do the best that I can for my daughter, but beyond that, I have no care in the world about that part of Christmas. Like I've decided that if, and it's a big if, but if a relationship is ever in my future with someone, I'm going to tell her that when it comes to Christmas, let's just spend time together, enjoy each other's company, like hopefully we're doing quite often throughout the rest of the year. Because I have this thing about all holidays, Valentine's Day being a big one. Why should there be that one day of the year that you're supposed to show somebody how much they mean to you? Why should you give gifts for Christmas and all that and not during the year? Why shouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why does this say, why do the holidays have to be this day is you have to do these things, but don't think about it any other time of the year? I want to just spend time with that person on Christmas and celebrate the reason for the season with somebody, and not make it a gift fest, and not make it about parties and just doing all this stuff. Just something nice and warm and intimate that doesn't have to be all about the crazy struggle for the perfect gift and all that crap. So I would tell this person that unless we want to sit down and just say, hey, look, this is something I would like, and just know that if they get them for you, that you don't blame them for not being spontaneous or thinking of it on their own, or just choose not to buy anything for each other and just spend that time together and enjoy it without all of that, trouble and pressure, because that's how I look at it, man. Everything's anxiety for me, but gift giving is one of the biggest ones for me, and I just don't want to go through that ever again. That's just what I want from Christmas. I want it to be a time to spend with people that you love in any way, shape, or form. Now, like right now, I don't have a relationship. I don't have someone in my life. The only person who I'm probably going to see on Christmas is my daughter and my ex-wife when she's picking up or dropping off our daughter, and that's going to be it. I'm not going to no church. I'm not going to a friend's house. I'm not going to a get-together. I don't have any other family here in town. I don't want to do anything else but be right here, enjoying my days off from work, not having to deal with that part of it. And that's really all that I want. It's a little time with my daughter, a little time to myself. It's just another day as far as I'm concerned. I will honor the true meaning of Christmas in my own way while I'm here at my house, and that'll be that. So yeah, I'm probably a bah humbug guy. I'm probably kind of a downer when it comes to Christmas, but I'm not one of those guys who, despite how susceptible I should be to this, I'm not going to be one of those people who sits here at home and gets all super depressed. I know that there's a lot of people who deal with that, and if you deal with that on Christmas time or anything else, just reach out to somebody or know that you're not alone. There are people out here who this is not a wonderful, super happy time. It's just another day, and let's get through it time for me. But seek somebody out. Talk to somebody, call a friend, message somebody, whatever you need to do. Get through this time, even if you're alone, the best that you can, and don't let it get to you. Don't let it bring you down to that kind of a level where you would, be thinking about hurting yourself. Just don't do it. Know that there's people out here who care and who can relate. So I guess that's all I really wanted to say. Christmas, it's just a thing. It's just another day to me, as far as I'm concerned. With the exception of just trying to make it nice for my daughter. I can take it or leave it, as they say. So, with that in mind, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays once again to everybody. Have a great couple of days. If you're off from work, well, you should be off from work. There's not a lot of places that are open on Christmas. Even Walmart shuts down on Christmas. But have a happy holidays. Enjoy your time off, and I'll see you next time.